DJ World Premiere.
Yeah, I envision better living in my time. Fake niggas, real bitches, I don't see the difference. Got your eyes open, but could you be blind? All this shit I see in 3D like a prism. You could probably see, open your ears and listen. The position that I'm sitting got me feeling like Keanu. Pop another bottle, we could chill and kick it, but I'm still on point. They never see me slipping. Money in the power, got me missing showers. You broke as a joke and you smelling like flowers. You live like a coward, no more hope. Your remains get devoured. Do you like the towers? I'm still gonna stand. I'm a man, but you ran, and that wasn't in the plan. Ain't sweet shit sour. That's some shit you can't explain to your father. How could you let them take what's ours? I'm having bad dreams and good nightmares. Tomorrow's quite clear. Fail or succeed, the world in my palm, it's all up to me. I'm having bad dreams and good nightmares. Tomorrow's quite clear. In a world so torn, trying to survive since the day I was born. Go to sleep and I dream about the life, like the ice, the money, my kids and my wife. I wonder what it's like to be the man I pray to. Am I already him? Am I the one that saved you? I don't need a halo, I could be an angel. We could be faithful and be full of faith if the apple wasn't bitten, cause it was full of taste. Now I'm living in a nightmare, seems full of hate. The power I was given is too much to take. I had a stroke just to see if I can handle all the weight. And nigga, I ain't break. Nah, nigga, I ain't break. Nah, nigga, I ain't run. Nah, nigga, I ain't mace. Maybe I'm the one. Maybe it was fate. If you wasn't number two, then maybe you'll relate to your peers. I'm great. I'll put you in your place. I'm a slave till you see my fucking face at the wake. I'm having bad dreams and good nightmares. Tomorrow's quite clear. Fail or succeed, the world in my palm, it's all up to me. I'm having bad dreams and good nightmares. Tomorrow's quite clear. In a world so torn, trying to survive since the day I was born.
When your time coming, nigga, what you waiting on? I check the watch on my wrist, the seconds pacing. 5:29 p.m. I crack a smile, cause 5:30 on the way. Ayy, losing my balance, made it through another day, man. I've been faking on a lot of shit. Ain't been as happy as I should. Been running through the woods in my mind. Time after time, I lose myself. Hitting trees, trying to make something good about my situation. Quit, that's something I never could. I pray for sunshine. Think about my angels in the clouds, from the skies where the rain been coming down on my life. Dark come before the dawn, can't tell my days from the night. It's all the days, yeah, I've been going through changes, don't know what phase I'm in. Close my hands and shed a tear before I say amen. Pay for no works is dead, before the grind I pray again. Don't know who died for me. My own brother fucked me over, stabbed me in my back, and got the fuck around from me. Like who I trust out here, friends and foes, family hold me on occasion. Like where the fuck do I go? Oh, my woman love me, but she get my worst and she deserve better. Cause she been riding for me through whatever. Put a hand on my chest, told me baby it's gon' get better. Oh, she motivate me to get my shit so together, and hard times don't last long, nigga, but life don't neither. This for them times where I felt like I don't need one day that I'ma make it out of here. Sending every day I'm living like you ain't there. Sending these loose prayers, me and these loose prayers. My mama told me lay all of my problems by the Lord. Papa told me problems is something I gotta weigh up. I'm sending loose prayers. I'm sending loose prayers. Buddy. I say I'm young and get killed. Prepare yourself for war. Chanting these Hebrews spiritually I'm evolved. They say they stand for y'all, we keep everything but the law. They took this name out the Bible and replaced it with God. And I've been writing prayers on this loosely, praying that Lucifer loose me, because this loose on me boosts me to speak the real. And until we seek their help, we'll never be healed. And I find it to be the reason our Savior was killed. I see a lot of folks in church but can't quote no scriptures. Can't trust the pastor. In my eyes, he just a hopeless nigga, cause he ain't healing, he just here to help us cope with sinning. Revoke the system, back against the wall, I know that feeling. Say you ain't got your fringes on, but you keep the law. And all that sinning in your poop and help you speak to y'all. And Deuteronomy 31:6, tell me don't fear, cause he here if I ever need to talk. So I'm sending loose. One day that I'ma make it out of here. Every day I'm living like you ain't there. Sending these loose prayers, meaning these loose prayers. My mama told me lay all of my problems by the Lord. Papa told me problems is something I gotta weigh it. I'm sending loose prayers. I'm sending loose prayers.
All right, I'm here. I don't even know why the hell I start laughing. Oh my god, it's Brownsburg. You know the deal. Welcome to another Brownstone Powwow. You know how this goes. This episode is titled "The Atlantic Flyway." I'm gonna keep it short and sweet today because I don't really have a lot to talk about. Right? I'm gonna just open the panel to anybody of those that want to come on. I'll put it up now in case anybody wants to come up. Yeah, I'm gonna keep this short and sweet. So basically, I had a conversation, or I had a roasting session with someone last week, and it's very ironic, right? Because this lets me know that I can't adopt and I can't adapt into the same world that other people adapt in, because I just don't give a shit about a lot of things, right? So the conversation goes from sitting up there accusing someone of something, right? That was me dissing on them. Now all of a sudden it's talking about how much money they make, or they drive a nice car, and that I'm homeless, and that I'm all this and I'm all that. And I'm not saying this because I'm offended. I don't care. Like, you get joked on all the time, and it's just like, okay, whatever. I don't give a shit. You know what I mean? But this made me think about something, right? We're in not even a season of, I was about to say a season of COVID. Lord forgive me. I'm messing up. My brain is fried, okay? It's not bird brains because I'm a smart bird, okay? Understand where I'm coming from when I say this. But what I'm saying is that when I was having this quote-unquote argument with this guy who sat up there and said that I'm low IQ and all this other stuff, okay, he has more subscribers than me because he's been on here for 2 years or more years than me there, that is, right? I only been here for a year. Okay, I'll tell you right now how many subscribers I got. I got 141 subscribers. This year has been great because I kept my mind on track. I sat there and said, yo, I'm going to do these videos. I'm going to make sure I put out this content. Yo, I'm actually backlogged on so many videos that I was supposed to do. I was so centered and ready to just be like, okay, cool. There's a certain amount of time. When I get this number of subscribers, I'm going to start doing this. When I get this amount of subscribers, I'm going to start doing that. And I stuck to my plan, right? But this is exactly what I wanted to get into. I cannot have conversations with loose-ended Negroes that feel as if they have to get one on over on you just because they make this amount of money and you don't. Or that you live in some type of mansion or live in some type of condo. Who gives a shit, right? Or the fact of the matter that you might wear Jordans or you might wear Balenciagas and all this dumb shit. Thank you, sir. Abadayu, peace. But what I'm trying to say is it's aggravating as fuck, right? Because it's just like the way that I live my life, I don't live my life by that standard. I've never been the type of one to brag. I never care to brag. I never gave a shit about bragging, right? So it doesn't phase me when people want to sit up there and say, oh yeah, well, I make more money than you and I got a good job and I got this, I got that. I sit up there and I look at them, I'll be like, so who cares? I don't give a shit. Why should you give a shit, right? So my reason for saying that is, you think it's fly as a bird, you think it's high, you know what I mean? You know my birdie nature. So I think like that, right? So my thing about it is this. I'm all about happiness at the end of the day. I don't play by those rules of like people who really feel as if they have to get one on over on you just because they might have more than you. Like it always goes to this, right? This is a conversation I like to have because it's something that I don't like. Like, forgive me for a second. I'm about to put the damn link pin the link or whatever. But this is something I wanted to talk about because how many times do we brag about shit, right? It's like, if I go to a restaurant and I say, oh yeah, well, I went to take my girl out to get caviar. You took your bitch out to McDonald's. We not the same. And I'll be sitting there, I'll be like, so what? I treated my lady out to something nice. Who gives a fuck? You know what I'm saying? That's what I mean when I'm saying that. I'm just saying that because when I let off on my mind, I just go. And my thing about it is, I really don't give a shit about a lot of different things in this world. You know what I'm saying? My idea is about simplicity. Because let's really be real. The whole entire mandate that your boy Joe Biden is doing, Joe Crow, you know what I'm saying? A lot of people is losing their jobs. A lot of people is losing their position because of the fact of the matter that this whole entire thing with the vaccine. I went over this the last time I ran this live. It's the same thing that happens every single time, and it's just one of those type of things to me. I like, this is not the time to be bragging. Like a lot of people is losing their livelihood because they refuse to take a vaccine, which they should be allowed to, right? Because there's nothing wrong with sitting up there saying, hey, I don't want that shit in my body. Keep that shit away from me. You understand? And you should be like that because it's your body at the end of the day. So, getting back to what I was saying, I'm sorry. I really don't like it because I mean, growing up, I've never bragged about the things that I had. The thing about it is that maybe I might have been the guy that's just essentially different from other guys out there, but I've never tried to be the one to brag. Like, look at me, look at my fresh fit, and you look like shit. Or because I'm earning this much money, you ain't earning much in this, that, third. First of all, let's really break it down. Depending on what state you in, your idea of rich is different from my idea of rich, okay? Because the thing about it is income varies from varies from state to state. Tennessee rich is not New York rich, right? Texas rich is not Florida rich, right? Louisiana rich is not Illinois rich, if you catch my drift. California rich is not Arizona rich. Maybe Las Vegas. Las Vegas is in Nevada, my fault. But you catch my drift, right? So I say it like, you don't, it's certain places you can go to right now. You don't have to make a lot of money to get rich or be in the middle class, right? You don't have to like spend all this lavish money to end up in these type of situations where you actually have a lot of income. And let me say this for a fact. I say this to people all the time. It is not the end of the world in 2021 when it comes to making income. Let me tell you why. Because of the fact of the matter, there's so many ways to make income online, in which I talk about the fourth industrial revolution. There's no excuses these days. Yeah, it might take a little bit of work. It's going to take some time. You may get some anxiety or this, that, and the third. That's understandable. Absolutely, it's understandable. Yes, so indeed. But the thing about it is, we must learn that when you put your mind to it and you go to where you want to go to, that's it and that's all. That's it and that's all. So, hold on a second. Hold on just a second. Give me 1 second, guys. 1 second. All right, cool. So, all right, back to what I was saying. There's so many ways of making that income, it doesn't matter. That's why I'm saying, like, having these robust conversations about bullshit, it doesn't faze me. Niggas bragging about G-Star jeans and brand materials. Like, I mean, like, dude, like, this whole world is starting to get childish to me. And I'm being really honest with you. It's starting to get really childish to me because a lot of things don't make sense. Like, even if you take it to the mindset of men, how they are now, like how you are when you're a teenager, it's understandable you're going to brag about how many bitches you get. But when you're in your late 20s, early 30s, who gives a fuck? Especially this climate that we keep bragging about in this space about how a lot of these women is feminists. I mean, I would give you credit if you smash a feminist who definitely goes on our whole entire tirade of sitting up there talking shit about men. I'll give you credit. I'll give you credit for that because you found a way to shut her up temporarily until she, because the dick calmed her down. You understand what I'm saying? But the reason why I feel like a lot of this shit is elementary and is high school because it makes no sense. Like, I hear these rap songs, right? And I think I wanted to talk about this because I was going to do a stream on hip-hop. I was going to do a stream on hip-hop that was called Cedric Avenue. I removed it because I wanted to give y'all, facts and give y'all information and talk about frequency and this, that, and the third. But the reason my go-to argument is always with hip-hop is because I love hip-hop. I love music, right? But this is the thing that I don't understand because this goes back to my point about how childish this whole entire world is, and it makes no fucking sense. We're living in the seven deadly sins in here in the westernized world because so many people are so caught up on, yo, I got so much money, I got the bag, I got so many bitches, she bad, she got the bitch with the black weave, the jet black weave, bro. And you be sitting there, you be like, okay, and my bitch is bad, your bitch is ugly, okay? And like the thing about it is I'm not gonna sit here and compare bitches, okay? Like if my woman is beautiful to me, my woman is beautiful to me. If she wasn't beautiful to me, I wouldn't be going out with her and making her my girlfriend, right? That's the exact type of thing that aggravates me about these conversations. Oh, your bitch is ugly. So like, what is like, why are we comparing women? Like, do you want my girl? Do you think I want your girl? I don't want your girl. And besides that, in this hookup culture, I can hook up with any girl if I so choose. Not because my game is like that, but just the fact of the matter is, it's like pretty easy to get laid these days. Don't let these dudes out here tell you, these dating coaches, try to run the game to you and try to make it seem like, oh yeah, because this is what you got to do to talk to women. It's like, bro, just struck up a conversation. That's all you got to do. It's really not that hard to comprehend and freaking do. Anybody can sit up there and talk to some women and get some draws out of them and go in the coochie hole, all right? Take off the panties. It's really simple these days, right? That's one thing. We're talking about greed. Let's really be honest. My only go-to argument about greed is the only thing I feel guilty about spending money on is food. I'm a skinny fat person, okay? A skinny fat bird, okay? I can eat to save my life. I don't care about spending money on worthless vanity shit, is my point. But for some odd reason, the credibility goes that you're in the club of coolness once you have all the fashion brands. Let's just say if you have Supreme. Let's say if you have Balenciagas, which I mentioned earlier. Versace, Louis Vuitton. But we've been talking about brands for years because Louis Vuitton and Versace is not anything new. I mean, they was wearing Versace and Louis Vuitton in the 80s, right? They was already wearing all this other stuff. So how is it the fact of the matter y'all still hyping up all these brands that's pretty much kind of old now, and it's no expansion of trying to figure out new things? Because this is the thing. I like looking nice. I like putting around a nice outfit. I like to look nice. But I'm not doing it to get the attention of other men. That's why I've never understood the paradigm, or understand the reasoning behind a lot of these dumb niggas that go to clubs and gotta cop a $400, $500 bottle to get laid by a bitch. You understand what I'm saying? These bitches will walk in a club with some high-ass dresses and stuff like that, and you'll see their panties and shit like that. They'll have their hair laid and fried to the side and this, that, and the third, and twerking and this, that, and the third. I've never been that type of guy to go to clubs and try to sit up there and put on a show just to get women. Or the fact of the matter that you got these guys out here that want to rock all these random ass... Because nowadays, fashions is shit. I'll be honest with you. I don't understand fashion. I don't understand what it's about, what it entails, What does it mean? I don't get it. I honestly don't get it, because a lot of these fashion statements nowadays, you mean to tell me a guy can walk out of here with $100 shirt and he's fly? And the fact of the matter that he's wearing these skinny ass jeans, sagging his jeans and sagging his ass, and wearing Balenciagas or wearing basic ass Nike Uptowns or pair of Vans maybe? Probably not Vans. But a simple ass outfit, and you mean to tell me that guy is fly? But let him look at you when you come in a club, and you're the type of person, you're the type of individual to come up inside of a club with a button-up shirt, some khakis, and probably some shoes, or probably just come in there with some Vans on, like I like to do. They look at you, they be like, yo, that's a broke nigga. He broke. He ain't got it. Like, I mean, do y'all ever remember the show that came out in, like, I believe 2012, 2013? I believe, what is his name? He used to go by 2 Chainz. 2 Chainz used to have this show that used to be on Viceland. And on Viceland, they would usually find ways of having the most expensive items for shit. You know what an episode I enjoyed most? And I really will tell you what I enjoyed most. That episode that had to deal with them finding a gold-crusted donut. And it had, like, the jelly inside. Like, yo, that joint looked mad delicious, but it's expensive as shit. And then they went to a restaurant, and I think they dined on some steak that was like Wagyu or something like that. You know how the Japanese have those perfected steaks and stuff like that. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you know what I'm saying? It's crazy. Look at Wagner trying to troll me right now. He's like, you know you be spending 1K on bottle service and VIP. Stop fronting. Listen, yo. Look, listen, bro. I don't spend that 1K. Like, look, listen, I give me a little simple drink, okay? And that little glass bottle, you know what I mean? Don't try to play me, Widener. You know I'm cheap. I'm a cheap dude, man. I can't be doing that when I go out the club, son. I can't get the Cristal. You know what I mean? Peace, Bronze. What's going on with you, kid? But that's my point. I don't really care for vanity these days. Like, I've never really did. You know what I mean? Like, new things come out and everybody wants it, but that's just the idea of marketing, right? Like, everybody wants the hottest thing and the newest things that's out. So then it goes back to that whole entire thing about income. And the thing about it is, I've seen so many successful stories of ones that started off from having, like, nothing and being homeless to now they're sitting up there having $600,000 or something bizarre, like $60,000, or they're a multi-millionaire or this, that, and the third. I mean, goddamn, everybody gets a start, right? Regardless of whatever age you are. So I just don't really enjoy when people want to come at you and say, oh, you're broke, you ain't got nothing, and blah, blah, blah. I mean, even if you are broke, let's really think about it. God put you here for a reason. Either you can make something out of your situation or completely fall by the wayside, which I doubt. Anyone who has an ambitious mind is going to allow themselves to stay by the wayside. You're going to move towards a better direction to become a better person, right? To become a better individual. So regardless if you're earning $10,000 a year, $20,000 a year, $60,000 a year, $70,000 a year, 100K, that high value man talks shit, you know what I'm saying? Because, I mean, the whole entire thing with KS, I'm like, it is what it is. Because it's mainly pandering towards women, and I really don't give a shit about women calling me a dusty or this, that, and the third, because I speak my mind and I say what I have to say. But it's just one of those type of thing is, are you happy when you make 100K? Are you happy when you make $60,000? Are you happy when you make $20,000 or $30,000? Everything is a mindset. So that's the reason I sit back and I be like, okay, you're making this amount of money. You're happy you're making that amount of money, but are you happy at your job? Because if you're not happy at your job, you shouldn't even be talking shit. Because what is that going to really prove to the rest of the world? You're unhappy. Why we know right now there's millionaires right now that's unhappy. Millionaires that might be might have got a divorce, still might be walking around with $1 million in their pocket, but still not feeling happy as an individual because of the fact of the matter that so many people wanted to leech off of them for having millions of dollars. Look at this. Check this out. Peace, Malik X. But check this out. Robert De Niro, random guy I mentioned. His wife divorced him. Both of them had a business, right? Everybody knows Robert De Niro, and then that whole entire conversation about swirling because Robert De Niro was one of those dudes that like so-called black women. I mean, look, listen, it is what it is. Like, I have my whole entire soft spot for Italians, low-key, when they're not racist. Because they're like the so-called white people of black people. They're like the black people of white people, if you catch my drift. Like Italians, Irish, you know what I mean? Them. But getting back to my point, he earned a lot of money. He would be considered a high value man. But his wife divorced him. She had a business and all that other stuff. So my thing of saying that is like, what is riches? Is it related to happiness, or is it relating to something that could be disposed by tomorrow? These are conversations I like to have. I don't give a fuck if you earn $60,000 a year. I don't give a shit if you earn $100K. You can look me dead in my face, and that goes with anything. I don't give a fuck if you got 1,000, 1 million subscribers on YouTube. I give a fuck if you got 10K of followers on Instagram. Or you got such and such amount of followers on Twitter. You think I give a fuck? I don't give a fuck about that shit. And that's the thing that really aggravates me, because now we're regulating our whole lives into something that's disposable. You don't think the job that you work at can kick your ass out tomorrow and say, goodbye, we don't need you, we have a better employee, right? You don't think that if you on Instagram, you say some crazy shit, they'll shadow ban your stuff and then probably exterminate you off of Instagram? If you make a video today, if you talk about COVID, if you talk about the coronavirus or anything that's bad with that, and if you repeatedly do it and you keep getting strikes, they'll kick your ass off of YouTube. Like, I mean, how far do you Negroes go and you people go with this vanity shit? I've never really gave a fuck about none of this shit y'all niggas is talking about. Or excuse me, none of y'all people is talking about. Like, I'm so tired of the vanity. Like, just me, I just don't roam in that world. So the thing with me is, it's just like, you can say whatever you want, but are you happy at the end of the day? Like, is your zen filled? You know what I want to be rich in? I want to just be rich in my zen, my chakras and shit. You know what I mean? Like, that ass, like, from my head to my toe, like, when I fly and shit, that I'm cool. Like, I'm not even stressed. I'm cool. I'm not even, you know what I mean? Like, I'm good. I'm in a space where I can spend as much as I like. I could travel whenever I want. I could do this whenever I want. I can eat whatever I want. I could eat like a pig and still, well, I'm a bird, but I can eat like another animal, right? And still be healthy as shit and work out and not even have to gain weight. You understand me? That's exactly how I'm envisioning my world. That's exactly how I feel. And that's just really how I really have to say it. I don't really have any other words on it. But otherwise than that, I'll keep talking. But just know that you guys can hit the link to have this conversation. If not, I'll let it go on for an hour of me ranting and raving, play some music, and I'll be out. You know how it goes when I'm usually here. But just the fact of the matter, like, what is your happiness, right? Is your happiness so great that you have to brag about it to other people? Like, I really want to know. Like, when you make accomplishments, yes, make your accomplishments. I will never say that you shouldn't be proud of the accomplishments you make. And then we get into this conversation about manhood, which is something I really want to go over by the time it's National Men's Day or International Men's Day, because I didn't even say this. Actually, there's a men's month. August is supposed to be the month for men. I never knew that. Jesse Lee Peterson, aka Amazing, he said that August is the month for men. But International Men's Day, because it's one of these YouTubers that I like to watch, and, you know, he moved on to Patreon and this, that, and the third. But, you know, I was just thinking about it. I was like, what makes a man? What entitles you to be a man? What does a real man do? What solutions would a man give to those who want to be a man? Is there such thing as being a man? What entitles of what being a man is? What is the image of a man? Because then it gets into these conversations like, oh, well, you know, you're not a real man. You're on here arguing, you're doing this, that, and the third. You're not a real man. Okay, so tell me what a real man is. Is a real man always humble? Is a real man monolithic? What is a real man then? Because I really need to know. And then, of course, you have these loosey-goosey, low lives women that try to tell you, well, a man wouldn't do that. Look at you. That's not what a man does. And it's like, who the fuck are you to tell me what a man is if you're not a man? You're a woman. You have titties and a vagina. So how the fuck you gonna tell me how to be a man? You understand me? Like, this is the complications that I hear from certain women, and I'm just like, shut the fuck up. You don't know what you're talking about. You're a woman. Focus on woman shit. You don't wake up in the morning with a boner, so I don't expect you to tell me exactly what it's like being a man. And of course, understanding the idea of manhood. Because at the end of the day, everything is a journey, right? You don't just stop when you turn a certain age or just because you earn a certain life and living and this, that, and the third. You don't stop being a man. There's still a journey you have to go through even after that. You never stop growing as an individual, right? But if we're talking about men here, what exemplifies a real man? What exemplifies that? Once you get rich or you make the money as much as you want to make in this life, does that qualify you for being a man? Let's just say your whole entire goal in life is to get a PhD and a master's degree. Is that what entitles you being a man because you got a PhD and a master's degree? Or does the fact of the matter that you hear from brothers like KS, and because he says the high value stuff, that if you earn 100K, that makes you a real man? Or that makes you a quote unquote high value man? Let's understand this. Let's overstand this, actually. Because what is the journey of being a man? What is the journey of actually moving towards being a good man? Or being a man in general? Now, does age specifically notify you as being a real man? Let's just say this. If you are in your mid-20s, are you a man? If you're in your late 20s, are you a man? Are you in your 30s, are you a man? Or does it go by behavioral traits? Let's just say this. If you are one that likes to spaz out, have arguments, argue with women, or just the fact of the matter that you go off on a tangent, are you a real man? No. They would sit up there and say you're feminized, right? You're showing your femininity as a man. But then you have to take into question, or the society in general, that today, you know how common it is to see dudes that push that boundary, that push that boundary with the whole entire, wearing nail polish and shit, and wearing all these suspect ass outfits, and this, that, and the third, being femboys and all this other stuff. Like, I mean, goddamn, they're trying to change the idea of what masculinity is, right? So what is the actual true masculinity of a man then? Tell me that. I would like to know. I mean, I see people watching right now, so if you would like to hit the StreamYard link to tell me exactly what it is, you're more than welcome to. I just got to still promo because I don't see anybody coming up. But, the Atlantic Flyway, like I said, I'll go on for like another 30 minutes and then I'll just stop afterwards. But I'm just saying, it's just one of those type of things that I like to think about. What exemplifies a real man? Tell me. Please help me have this conversation. What exemplifies a real man? Let me read ITV's comment. Peace, ITV. Funny. Russia is taking YouTube to court over mass channel takedown. Of course. YouTube is becoming more like a communist thing. Because of the fact of the matter, a lot of these websites are. Because they don't, number one, real information, I don't even want to say real information, but certain things that they don't want to hear because it causes a big ruckus in conversation, they don't want that on this platform. Like yesterday, they just sat up there and said, if you talk about COVID and this, that, and the third, you're anti-vax, you're going to get your channel shadow banned. Or this, that, and the third is going to happen to you because you was talking about that stuff online. And they'll block the video or they'll kick you off the goddamn channel. You understand? So, that's my point. Hold on. I'm sorry. My phone is ringing. Give me 1 second, guys. All right, I'm back. My fault. Yeah. But that's what's going to go on with a lot of these social media sites, bro. You got to understand that at the end of the day. And I mean, it's not going to only just be YouTube. I'm expecting Instagram to do it because there's friends that already told me. Hold up. There's friends that already told me, they're getting shadow banned on other social media sites. You understand what I'm saying? So it's just a lot that's going on with that. So I mean, that's just my whole entire take on it. But you know how it is going to be with these websites, and you have to expect it to get worse because it's not going to be anything that's going to get better over time. It's going to get completely worse. What else are we talking about? You're gonna find out in this society. You're gonna. I bet you, because Joe Biden and that piece of shit, he's gonna sit up there and take away your First Amendment. If you don't agree with me, fine. That's cool. I honestly don't give a shit. But this is all in planning. You understand? This is all in planning. That they're gonna take away your First Amendment. Okay? Like you're not gonna really be able to say what you want to say and stuff like that. But okay. Let's expand on that. I'm glad that people are adding on to this conversation. Okay. Yes. I'm going to say allegedly, ITB. I'm going to say allegedly. The thing about it is, it's all about pushing a narrative, right? This whole entire thing that they're doing with this whole entire CV and shit, and about the shot thing and the mandate and this, that, and the third. And I mean, goddamn. And it's really random because it's like when you bring that information out, and when you tell them, like, yo, how is it that you're finding all these people winding up in the hospital, and then you're having a shortage of hospitalization staff, and this, that, and the third, but these are the people that took it. So how are y'all not covering this in media? They'd be like, oh, it's a lie, it's false news, and da-da-da, this, that, and third. But think about it this way. How could it not be true, right? Because this is the thing. You're telling me this one thing. You're telling me that it took you a year to get the joint regulated and get it approved by the CDC, right? Get it approved by the CDC in a year. But if you're talking about something that has to be tested 4 years, how were you able to do it under a year? That makes no sense to me, bro. Peace, Malik X.
Hey, peace, brother Brownsbird. How you doing?
Peace. What's going on with you, bro? What's on your mind?
Oh, nothing. I just ran across your show and I hear what you're talking about. Yeah, certain things on YouTube or basically online or basically anything real you can't talk about because you either get banned or doxxed or especially if you're too black, too strong. So,
did you witness? Because I think you have a YouTube page, right?
Oh yeah, I have a channel. Yeah, this is my main channel.
Okay, so did you witness any conversations or topics you talked about might have gotten shadow banned, or they did something with your channel?
No, it's not. I was shadow banned. It's basically this happened to me. This happened years ago. Like I said, I was had a group of friends. Of course, and then basically I broke away, spoke my mind on something on racism having to do with wrestling and racism, and basically I've been attacked ever since. So I've been doxxed. And I've had my house called several times too. So so I'm not gonna go into all that, but it has to do with that. So
that's crazy, man.
Yeah. So say like I said, I speak my, but I'm gonna continue to speak my mind. Ain't nobody gonna silence me or ain't nobody gonna stop me. What I'm thinking about doing is now is these collection of Black history books I've been buying and reading. I'm thinking about going on my backup channel and reading some of the stuff out loud online or live broadcast. Do it like that. Then they'll know I'm serious.
Consider browsing into other platforms. I know it's not going to be as as popular as YouTube. But if if you feel as if the message is not coming across and YouTube does some bullshit, look into some other video streaming sites as well. I always advise that because I even know other people out there that's doing that. So I get that.
Yeah, true that. Yeah, well, I got my message across pretty bluntly. So and my enemies know that. That's why, like I said, they've tried to shut me down. But I continue to speak my mind. I mean, I stay quiet sometimes, because I'm not going into all this drama that's been happening, because some of it doesn't have nothing to do with me. But the race part, the racism part, does have everything to do with me at the time. Back then,
Well, let me ask you this, Malik X. What was one topic for sure rattled the fences or was really controversial especially you talking from the wrestling community, or I guess just the audience that might have felt some type of way. What was a controversial topic you knew?
Well,
Yeah.
long story short, there's this African American wrestler named Jordan Miles, or known as ACH. He was in WWE at one time, NXT. They made a T-shirt for him, and he felt the T-shirt was racist. And I saw the T-shirt. Of course, the Devils, as you know, didn't think it was racist. They thought he was, a whack job, or he's this, that, But basically, though, they trying to sugarcoat it and play it off. I agree with him. I made a video about it, responding to somebody, and rest is history. It went from there.
Okay.
So people I thought were friends basically attacked me, and they proved it. They weren't really friends at all. We still been friends as long as I went along with their narrative, basically. So.
Okay. Because you know what? Because I'm glad you did this. I did a video the other day. I know this doesn't have to do with wrestling per se, but it's certain things when we talk about pro blackness or being for your people, in which certain things I deem unnecessary. I'm gonna expand on that in a second. Not saying what you're saying is unnecessary, but just the fact of the matter, like certain things just kind of like, come on now. But I want to reach out to ITB's comment real quick. They're hiring National Guardsmen as healthcare workers in New York, I heard. Yeah, that's true. A big staff shortage within the education system and in the health hospital, because these dumbasses and the new governor, Kathy Hochul, feels as if it's a better plight to sit up there and tell people to abide by the goddamn mandate. I mean, she just came into office like a week or two ago, and I already don't like this lady. Mayor de Blasio is going to do whatever the hell he wants to do, and I'm just hoping whenever the hell he gets out of office, the new mayor could go ahead and clean things up, because I'll tell you what, right now, New York City is going to shit, and New York State is going to shit, so. But, yeah, go ahead, Malik. I heard you.
Oh, no. And I would say, you say a shortage down here in Virginia where I live. I saw on the news this morning there's a shortage of bus drivers in my South Side district. They had a job fair today and looking for more bus drivers.
Like city bus?
No, this is just for the community, like suburban community city bus drivers.
Wow. See.
Also, I'm pretty sure you saw on the news there's supposed to be a government shutdown by midnight tonight due to the negotiations not going well with the president and the Senate and all that stuff. The funding and everything, and also like the federal workers that might get laid off if the government does shut down.
Yeah. Well, I wish that they would have did a government shutdown on that goddamn mandate. It would have been great. But I mean, look, I heard something the other day, like when it comes to the government, they might run out of money in October.
Yeah, that's the issue. Yeah, that's part of the issue, the funding. Yeah.
Well, I mean, look, I don't. My thing is, I don't know if it's still geared towards something like the stimulus package, or shit that's going on with like Afghanistan. I don't know. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think that's part of it too, because like all that stuff with Afghanistan, like that general, who's getting all that heat because they said they're leaving 2,500 troops in Afghanistan, but Biden wants to pull them all out of there. But see, if that happens, you might see a resurgence of Al Qaeda, the Taliban again. It's like even though there's no Bin Laden, you might see a resurgence of all that again, and like could be plans for terrorist attacks over here in the U.S. again. But also Biden, with all the deals and all the plans he had, for these $1 trillion plans for spending to help the economy, the Republicans feel that's too much spending, and I think that's what's the strain on. I guess all the spending is putting the strain now on the federal workers. I guess payroll financially.
Mm-hmm. And I think that just in general, Joe Biden, his Democratic takeover was a big mistake. I got to be honest. But peace, Tampa. But the thing about it is, just hearing the whole entire thing that's going on, it's just a lot of chaos within a year. Especially what's going on in Afghanistan, like we talked about earlier, the whole entire thing with COVID and this, that, and the third. And it's like you're not creating incentives and a safe environment for people to actually feel comfortable of going to work. And then, of course, we're talking about the whole entire finance issue. How are you going to, if there's a shortage of a lot of workers, how are you going to better the situation? You're not. Now, that's why I feel like it's foolish for this dumbass Joe Biden. And yeah, I said it. He's a dumbass. The fact of the matter that y'all want to sit up there and talk about all this mandate shit. My thing about it is, if we cool with the whole entire COVID testing, let it be. What the fuck is y'all problem? Like, I don't understand why this needs to be an issue. But then when it comes to Democrats, they want to sit up the Democrats. They want to sit up there and make big issues about liberalism, about shit that don't make sense. I don't give a fuck about half the shit y'all talking about when it comes to liberalism. And then, of course, you seen that stupid nonsense AOC pulled off. You know what I mean? AOC sitting up there talking about tax the rich.
Anytime you tax the rich, it's a problem, because it seems like, but here's the thing. Whether it's Biden or Republican or Democrat, like I said, the last book I got, it wasn't about Black history. It was a conspiracy book about the 9/11 attacks by a guy named David Icke. It's called The Trigger, The Lie That Changed the World.
Yeah, I know David Icke. Yeah.
Yeah, and look, reading that book, oh shit, you talking about, you look at this. People call it conspiracy. It ain't conspiracy. I think it's the damn truth. Mm-hmm. Because the president of either party is not the real power.
No.
The real power is the dark power that you don't see. I mean, it's human beings, but they're a bloodline. And boy, you talk about evil personified. That shit is evil.
Oh yeah, I definitely know about what you talking
about. That's straight out of a horror movie. Because look at this. Reading the book, I've recognized titles and stuff I've seen in movies. Like, and I said, this is the reason why they make these movies, because these movies are subliminal messages if you can pick up on it. Yeah. I didn't pick up on it because I like horror and it's fascinating. I watch it if it's a good story. But I remember a part I just read yesterday called Skull and Bones, and there's a movie that made years ago about these young. That one of the actors was in it. That's why I watched it. But it was called The Skulls or The Scrolls or something like that. It was The Skulls, and it was like in college. And I just thought the movie. I said that's why they made that movie. So that's what it is. Because see, that's how this is how this dark power, these bloodlines initiate members that they want to join that are the real power that run this country. See, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter who we vote for. They choose who they want to be the president.
Yeah, ITB. It's funny you say that.
ITB? Yeah,
it's funny you say that. My friend is reading that book right now.
I saw that book. I found on Amazon. I think I found that book on Amazon, and I put it in the sale. I haven't bought it yet. I tried to buy it. This one, there are so many books out there to read. Boy, it ain't funny.
Yeah, dude. Like you. That's why I say knowledge is free, yo. Like, think about it is.
Well, it's not free. If you want to read the books, man.
I know you got to buy. I know you got to buy.
I know what I'm saying.
You know what I mean? But there's no limit. There's no limit of learning. But I think my friend has that book. I told him, yo, once you finish that book, let me get that book because I'm gonna read.
And the thing is, I think I've spent over $200 on books in the past year alone. But I think I'm gonna have to spend probably more. And the thing is, I'm gonna have to spend this time instead of going out, since we can't go out since everything's a lockdown. So I don't go out no more anyway. I know they've opened things back up, but the thing is, here's another issue. In the future, this is medical workers too, and workers all around. They're gonna have it where if you're not vaccinated, you're gonna lose your job.
They're doing that now.
Yeah, that's what's happening now. Because like I said, I saw a thing on the news. A bunch of women nurses who didn't want to get the vaccine, but all lost their jobs and got laid off.
Yeah, they're doing that in New York. That's why it's a problem right now. What happened was real quick. What I was saying was that's what's happening in New York right now. That's why it's a big deal with Kathy Hochul and Mayor de Blasio, because of the fact of the matter that they're literally sitting up there giving deadlines like, yo, if you don't get the vaccine or one dose of the vaccine by Friday, you're gonna be dropped. And that's why ITB said earlier that whole entire thing about them having a National Guard play as the actual healthcare workers, bro. Like this is already happening now, because there's amount of people that's just like, yo, fuck this shit. I'm not gonna sit up there and allow y'all to boss me around about a goddamn vaccine if I don't feel like I need to take it. You know what I mean?
True that. But I hear you. The point I was making, and like tonight before I came home from work, I stopped by Kroger and I was shopping. And I talked with a lady about the vaccine, about why I don't go out no more. Mm-hmm. She said a friend of hers were talking. They were at State Fair today. Our State Fair. You had a whole crowd of people, and and over half of them didn't have any mask. They were shoulder to shoulder. And, I said, you know what? You wouldn't catch me dead there. The thing is, everybody's talking about this, going back to this normal life. Life as you know it is gone now. It is gone. And even the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan even said this pandemic is a pestilence. It's not just a disease, it's a pestilence. This is from God. Because the thing is, and here's something else. The vaccine is not bulletproof. It does not make you bulletproof. Plus, you notice how when there's a vaccine, the damn virus mutates. Because the news already came out and said there's a Delta strain that was like over a month ago. I saw news for another new strain that's mutated, and they're just calling it MU, capital MU strain.
Yeah, MU.
So that's 2 new strains right there.
They said there's another one. Wait. It was they said it's Mu and it's Lambda.
Oh, okay, I didn't hear about Lambda, but I guess I hear about it now. I just heard about Delta and the MU or Mu. Yeah, I just saw MU. I just called it MU. So, but if there's a Lambda, if there's another strain, yeah. And now the vaccine creators are trying to do this now. The P5s are trying to come out with this booster shot now, and see, you're going to take so many shots until something goes wrong with somebody. The thing is, here's the thing: don't go out. I mean, look at this. I used to love to go to the movies, and I miss it so much. I've been in the movies now almost 2 years. I miss going, but I'm not risking my life to see a movie. And there's like 6 movies I want to see that's out right now. We got 2 from Marvel, a couple of horror movies I want to see coming out, but I can't. I just got to stay home and download them. But see, that's safe. I'm about to be safe. I go to work and I go home. And even when I shop. I go there to shop, get what I get, and get the hell out. I don't hang out in there. If it's a lot of people coming there, because that's where I get in the line. I stay over 6 feet apart, and I get out and I go home, and I wear my mask. But people out here just wilding out, just want to get out with this normal life, and then that's another thing. They're doing that, but still, as people are getting sick, see, it's like a second wave, all over again.
I felt like it was gonna come along anyway, though. Like I already felt like it was deemed to happen, because I'm like, because it just felt like it was like, oh, we're not gonna be able to turn to normal life until 2022. And then this is the thing. Well, I wanted to ask you this. So you're in Virginia. You said that it's a lockdown in your state right now.
No, it's not a lockdown. I'm saying it might be sooner or later.
More than likely.
If things, not just my state, but everywhere. More likely, especially in New York, where things are, hopping again. They've reopened Broadway and all that kind of stuff. So to me that's not safe. You know what I mean?
Stupid God. But my thing is this though. What I find ironic though, I think your state is a red state. Is it?
Yeah, it is. It's the South.
There a lot of I've seen a lot of red states that sat out there and said, "Nah, we're not."
Where I live, it's like it's the South. It's a Trump state. Trust me. Or I like to call it, and I'm gonna say it too because I'm gonna speak my mind. The cracker state. So
the cracker state.
And there's a lot of cracker states out there.
The thing about it is, if you're talking about the whole entire Trump supporters, the only way you have it in New York City is if you go to Staten Island. Everybody else, or certain neighborhoods within the city, but like more than likely, if you're gonna find Trump supporters, it's gonna be in Staten Island.
I ain't talking about the Trump supporters. I'm talking about them devils just in general. That's just how this world is.
Well, I mean, listen, bro. The thing about it is that the only reason I'm mentioning it is because I actually find it ironic that they're actually saying, yo, we not fucking with this mandate. We not rolling with it. And it's a lot of southern states, and the only northern state that I know of that's doing it is New Hampshire. You know what I mean? So I just find it ironic because I live in a blue state. So they're like, yeah, take that vaccine. You know what I mean? But then there's red states that's just like, nah, we're not dealing with this. And especially the guy out in Florida, I forgot his name, DeSantis or something like that. He's like, yo, like we're not gonna play by your rules, Joe Biden. You know what I mean? And it's just really crazy how, things is going out. I mean, listen. I also wanted to discuss this too. I mean, you know about the Boule, the Divine Nine, and all that other stuff, though. You know what I mean? You know about that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, the Divine Nine and Boule. I ain't gonna lie. Like mainly the information came from YouTube. I'll admit that. But the thing about it is, when you start to watch closely, it was always something shaky about the pro-blackity blacks that come from that whole entire thing. You ask what their education level. It's always something to deal with them being in these I don't want to say secret societies. I want to say like more like, is it fraternities, whatever.
Well, that's what runs the country. See those secret societies mentioned? Those secret societies are also bloodlines. That's where our presidents come from. Because, like I said, the David Icke book I'm reading, it's my first one, but he makes references of other books, which I might buy, like one called "The Children of the Matrix," something like that. I might get that one, and then, like I said, I'm gonna get The Pale Horse by William Cooper that ITB just mentioned. Yeah, if he was killed for making that book, that means that book must have been right on the money. So. So here's the thing: the more you try to expose the real power behind the government, the more you become a target. So
hey, more likely they want to find you and probably kill you. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
no, if that's the case, though. See, that's why as citizens we need to start arming ourselves. I'm talking about are black or white. See, if we know this information and we appreciate, we know they come after us, we should prepare. Like I said. You got people out here that getting guns. We still buy guns out here, So anybody coming out door, knocking the door, looking for trouble, that's when you blow them away. It's self-defense.
Yeah,
and that's
I agree.
And that's when we need to start hunting. We need to start hunting these secret societies. So that's how you change the world. Because that way, see, if we can break these chains, these government chains, then we can start to do something. Because it wasn't like this in the ancient times. It just started like this.
There was evil in the ancient times, but I mean, like, if you're talking about control, it's like
that ancient evil basically came from European control. That's where it started. See, it didn't start from Africa. See, Africa was living in peace. They had their own control, and they governed. Like I said, as black people, we lived in peace and created our own cultures and everything. It's just when one brother by the name of Yakub did what he did, that's when everything got messed up. Like I said, I won't go into detail, but you probably know what I mean. Like
no. I had this conversation with someone, so I know exactly who you're talking about.
And look, I have,
but that but believe, if that's the case, that's the case, though, wasn't it an actual extinction date that's supposed to happen for your Cubs invention?
Yeah,
they only said it was 6,000 years.
6,000 years, yeah. So that's what they say. Yeah, 6,000 years.
So wouldn't it mean that now is around the time that it's probably going to come down to them starting to become more extinct?
Maybe that's what this virus is doing.
I don't know.
I mean, here's the only thing. Farrakhan said this is a pestilence. This virus is just phase 1. I think phase 2 might be coming maybe within another 5 years or 10 years. Who knows?
Well, we can both agree it definitely is. I don't want to really say a metamorphosis, more like a paradigm shift, of course, because of society, because it still blogs my mind. Like, I'll take the train and I'll be like, damn, like, people is wearing masks. You know what I mean? Like, it still boggles my mind. Like, yo, it wasn't like this in 2019. You know what I mean? Like, everybody was just like, yo, whatever, blah, blah, blah. But, like, yeah, I get what Minister Farrakhan is saying. Yeah, I do get it. And I just, my thing is, it's like, it's not going to get better from here. So I think people need to really understand, you want this fantasy of everybody returning back to normal life and thinking things is going to be sweet and you can take off that mask. No, that's not going to happen. You understand? Even before that, what was the precedent before that is that you had the Asians coming over here with the mask on. And I never really understood why. But then I did a little bit of research. Their air quality out even in China is shit. They got a lot of smog. So then there's something about how they might have virus out there prior to COVID.
Yeah, Trump actually says the cause of COVID comes from China, something in China, something in China. And then, do you remember, here's something I saw online months ago, right at the phase of the pandemic last year. Years before Michael Jackson died, Michael Jackson was wearing a mask. And people saying, people should have taken that as a sign. So maybe there was something out there before that we didn't know about or couldn't see, but he knew about it. That's why he always wore a mask. I always thought he wore a mask because of his plastic surgery, because of it was holding his face together, but the mask could have been meant something else, and maybe it did, but he's dead now, so he's safe. He's in a better place. Anybody famous we know who's dead right now is in a better place because they don't have to deal with this. But to me, this is just phase 1 of what's to come. And the thing is, I think people are forcing a normal life again. They're forcing it. That's why the governments are opening back everything back up. Because basically that's just to make money. Because New York is not making money because New York is known for entertainment. It's like Vegas, so they're opening back up and saying, hey, if you have a mask, live wild, live free, live your life. But they say no, you're living your life and you get sick.
I
like to
mean,
take it from
yeah,
you, you know.
like if you go to Times Square, like everybody's acting like it's prior to like the whole entire pandemic. You got you got the rainbow people out there sitting up there doing their drag queen show. You got the naked cow. It's an old lady with saggy ass titties sitting up there as a naked cowgirl. Oh my
Oh
god,
damn! See, I don't want to see
that
that now. See,
I
I
don't
don't see
want.
that.
I didn't want to see it either. The shit blocked my
Uh,
eyes. God damn, yo.
well, you saw it.
But
I don't want to see that. Never mind. Okay, just mention this. I just say
yeah,
dinner,
yeah,
man. Come on,
okay.
man.
But besides that, yeah, it's my fault. I had to hit you with that real quick. My fault,
Yeah,
my
no,
fault.
I don't want to see
But
that. See, but see,
look, listen.
yeah,
I
go ahead.
was disturbed too, though. But then you also have the actual girls that's attractive or whatever, and they'll wear like body paint, and they only have body paint and panties on, and they'll sit up there and take a picture with you. But that's what's going on in Times Square. They acting like everything is back to normal. Then it's the ironic thing that happened with the Broadway show, the Aladdin. Aladdin just opened, I believe, last Tuesday or Friday, or this, that, and the third. They had to close it yesterday because there was cases of them having the coronavirus,
Of
right?
course. See,
And then
see.
now they're sitting up there saying they might return back next Tuesday. See, and Broadway was like a ghost town for like half a year, bro. Like I remember going down to Times Square and just seeing like nothing open at all, bro.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, the thing is though, when they open back up, it's basically going to be going around in circles, round and round again. All you're doing is going round and round. So see, and you can't do that.
Wagner, I would say this, bro. I have a feeling like it probably is gonna like, but this is the odd thing because now if you're talking about the lockdown, I don't think that Joe Biden is gonna try to give out another stimulus check package because now if he's sitting up there saying it's war on the unvaccinated, how is it gonna be one of those sort of things where because I don't think like I mean I could think because something's telling me it might be another lockdown, but then again, I'm like, well, can the U.S. afford it? Probably not. But then the fact of the matter is, if you're talking about the unvaccinated, and I don't even think Joe Biden is trying to be fair to the unvaccinated. He's like, oh, well, if you didn't get the shot, then there's no hope for you. You know what I mean? Like then you're talking all these like different random programs like Big Brother and this, that, and the third out there, sitting up there creating all these now cameras and all this other shit about the AI and this, that, and the third. Like, I mean, look, the thing about it is that when you're talking about the working environment, that's about to be a paradigm shift too. And I mean, like, look, it's only, in my opinion, it's only excuse for them to add on something new to this whole entire thing. Now you're sitting up there talking about, well, I don't want no touch delivery. I don't want nobody touching my food. I don't want nobody delivering mail to me and this, that, and the third. What are they going to do? Go ahead and put out AI technology. That's what I believe. They're going to sit up there and have those damn drones flying outside and this, that, and third, delivering your mail packages and scanning your face and then sit up there talking about, well, you can sign here. We scanned your face so you don't have to worry about it. Or the fact of the matter at the damn, the food franchises. You already know that they start to have out there those robot burger flippers and shit like that, so they don't need you. And that's the whole entire thing. It's going to be a paradigm shift regardless. You know what I mean? But a lockdown, I'm not really sure. I mean, something is telling me it could be, but if you're talking financially and there's going to be a government shutdown by midnight, how are they going to survive? How are they going to be able to survive the next couple of months when shit really hits the fan? You understand? That's my opinion on that. What's your opinion, Malik?
Yeah, yeah. Well, I think in the long run, it is what it is. If we all lose our jobs, or if people who don't have a vaccine lose our jobs, that's one step. Here's the next step. I think if you're not vaccinated, you might get arrested.
Yeah.
That's probably the
I
next.
mean, it's gonna go into a police state. I think that's what they're trying to do is trying to involve it into a police state.
Yeah, and
And
then
then
and then probably convert it to go into martial law, declare martial law,
yeah,
quarantine all unvaccinated citizens.
yeah, like it's just bogus excuses because if you're saying that even if you take that vaccine, you're not 100% effective, right? Then that would mean that even if you do have the vax, you still are eligible to get it. So no one's safe. regardless if you're unvaxxed or vaxxed. But of course, it's about creating a narrative, because if you don't abide and you don't obey, you are the problem. That is the reason why Joe Biden is doing that bullshit, because it's all about sitting up there saying, do you abide? Do you obey and do you abide by these new rules and these fallacies of the law that you like to say, in order to say, yeah, you need to do it, you need to do it. You understand what I'm saying? That's all this is about. It's about just obey and abide. It has nothing to do, in my opinion, I don't think it necessarily has to do with the vax itself. It's just about the idea of obeying and abide.
Yeah,
Follow
obeying,
the
abiding.
protocol. You
Yeah,
understand?
basically, like the book I'm reading that you probably read, David Icke. Basically, it's about control, manipulating the minds of people and controlling them.
Right. And that's why I say, because I have these conversations all the time with friends, because it's just like it just doesn't make any sense. I mean, look, why everybody has a right to do what they want. The Democrats is stupid because they sit up there and say they go along with this "my body, my choice" about the abort thing out in Texas. But then when it comes to the whole entire thing about vax and unvax, now all of a sudden you're made to be public enemy number one. But if we're sitting up there saying "my body, my choice," how come y'all being hypocritical when it comes to that conversation?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's for the women, basically, who get pregnant and want to have an abortion, or but it's becoming it'll become eventually against the law. But if they're not ready to be mothers, or they don't have the means and the resources to take care of a child, yeah, I'm not saying they should have an abortion, but if you don't want to go through the pain, I guess maybe that's your own personal choice. But I would say have the baby and give it up for adoption so he has a chance to live.
Yeah.
Because abortion is killing it. But like I said, it is woman's choice. It is woman's body. So yeah, I do respect that.
Yeah.
A lot of people say you shouldn't kill a child, they have the right to live, but it's still her body. She's going to do what she's going to do. You can't make her keep the baby or have it. I mean, I guess you could if you're a government elite or powerful. Yeah, you could put her in jail. But the other side of the coin is you're not in her shoes.
Right. But hold on.
Yeah, go ahead.
Because there's a catch-22 to that, though. Because if you think about it, it is certain women out here who look to have a baby as a way to be sponsored by the government, number one, and number two, defile the man for taking his sperm, basically. So the whole entire thing about the whole entire abort thing, it's just a catch-22 when you're talking about women getting pregnant. Because I do understand certain single moms out there. I understand certain, because some of them do the shit to themselves, or they want to directly be single mothers. We're not even talking about IVFs. In vitro. The fact of the matter that you have women out here who's getting pregnant without a man's sperm. I mean, well, without actual sex. We're talking about sperm. Going to the sperm banks or all in vitro. Putting it inside and letting it go ahead and race to the egg. And then they sit up there and say, hey, I'm pregnant. I don't need no man. I'll have the baby myself. So that is something I also like to talk about, because I don't feel like it's talked about often. And it's something that needs to be brought up, because this is some true shit that's going on in our society, yo. Like, women is taking a shortcut. They don't want to. It's like they don't want to have a family. They want to be able to say, "Oh, I had my child without a man, but now I want a man, or I want a woman that acts like a man." And that's basically how they want to maneuver in society now. So I'm just saying it's a catch-22, because there is that,
Yeah, that's true. Also, the part where you just said a man acts like a woman, or vice versa.
Mm-hmm.
That's something else in the LGBT part of the manipulation. You got stuff I've seen online, or things where, like, say a gay couple or a gay female couple, they're married and they want to adopt a child, a baby. That's going to cause that baby a lot of confusion when he grows up, whether it's a lesbian couple or a gay male couple that raises him. Also, I saw something about if you want to, if you're born a certain way, or if you want to be born a certain way, or if you want to change change something when you're born, like that, your whole, I guess,
Gender X. They They
Right,
signed
yeah.
a bill. They signed a. I'm not sure what other states did it, but New York State did it and Massachusetts did it in 2018 and 2019, where you can legally change. You can legally, like, if you have a baby at the hospital, you literally can say that's a gender X baby. Or if you feel as if like you are quote unquote born in the wrong gender, you can then go on and find a way of getting it changed and saying that I'm gender X, which X is just a way of saying unknown. Which a lot of like, yo, this is why I can't stand this liberalism shit, yo, because it's the stuff that I talk about on my channel. They're not only just doing this out in the open, like this is a conversation for adults. It's a conversation with kids, and it's starting to get polluted into the mind of kids where they think this is okay, and they'll go
Right.
to the
Yep.
school, and it's like they'll go to the school and they say, well, I don't identify or as male or female. Who taught you that? Because you wasn't taught that just naturally off of women. I wasn't taught this when I was a kid. You know what I mean? So
Yep.
who's teaching you this? And then you have to blame the parents because the parents is just falling into the whole entire liberalism woke hole and sitting up there getting mad at people who stay conservative and they're just like, we're not falling for this crap.
Yep. True that. Yep. That's right. Yep.
Dude,
That's when you mentioned
you're not even talking about real quick, I'm sorry. You're not
Go ahead.
even talking about the fact of the matter you have these trans parents, man. Trans men and trans women. Trans men that's literally sitting up there saying, I'm pregnant. I'm the first man to get pregnant. How the fuck as a man do you get pregnant?
Bingo. And the thing is, this is not what God intended when he made male and man and woman. He made Adam and Eve. He made Eve female and made Adam male. He did not intend for either one to be a transgender, to alter our bodies with plastic surgery. That wasn't intended. But see, this is part of the evil, I think, also of the that the powerful elite is behind. They're getting behind us. This is all the LGBT and gays' rights and trans rights and all this kind of stuff. See, this is basically all a cover, an excuse to put these practices, these evil practices in place, which is very misleading to future children generations. I'm sorry to say.
Not only that, well, it's two things that I want to respond to on that. Number one, it reminds me when I used to take this class on ancient tales about Greeks when I was in college, and about how you had like I think a Greek god or like, you know, it was these fables that come up about these men becoming more feminine, and then they chop off their manhood, and then they have sex with the man. Okay, that Greek gods used to do that. And then secondly, the thing about it is that I always talk about this. They're adultifying children. I talk about this very prevalently. They're adultifying children, and they find no problem with going to these schools now. These liberal assholes that go to these schools and have these conversations randomly saying, oh, you know, I did a video on this back in, I believe, April, where they had a woman, a sex education teacher that came to a school and was trying to teach little boys and girls about masturbating. Okay? And this is what I find ironic. They always do this liberalism bullshit in New York. I like, yo, I'm trying to figure out if any other state is really hard on this progressive liberalism like that, but they do it here like it's nothing. And I'm like, yo, why y'all allow this shit? She wound up getting fired, but I just want to make that point. Not only is about confusing the kids on sexuality and gender, it's about adultifying children too. They do that. They have no problem with doing that. You know what I mean? And they accept it more and more and more and more. You understand? Like they have no boundary. You know what I mean? And then there's softcore stuff because they're, you know, this is why, you know, you gotta be careful. You know, if there's people that got kids, you know what I'm saying? Like, what's their environment? Little girls twerking, and then, you know, little boys like getting twerked on by older women. You understand? Like this is the type of stuff that, and then recording this shit online so that people can see it.
Yep,
So,
true
yeah,
that.
man.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Yeah, because you got websites, you got and everybody's on TikTok and all that other bullshit and Snapchat and whatever that bullshit is. I mean, I'm on Facebook and Twitter. That's as far as it goes for me.
Bless you, bro. But
Thanks. No, as far as even though I'm on Facebook and Twitter, I post pictures very rarely. It's only like if I'm at a block party or something like that, with some buddies, or I'm doing. I occasionally take a selfie with my family. Like I posted one on Instagram. I'm on Instagram too. Like I said, I don't talk and go live and TikTok and this bullshit all like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, I don't try to get caught up.
Yeah, some things you go too far. I don't broadcast every second of my life on online. It's not worth that.
No, it's not.
Some things you probably don't mean. I mean, I have a camcorder. I'll film. I'll sit in my car and I'll film and I'll post it on YouTube. That's about it. If I got something to say, something real to say, you know what I mean?
Right, exactly, and I think that goes into the idea of narcissism, because the thing about it is it's just too easy to sit up there and talk about your life all day. Like I need a chill button on shit. You know what I mean? Like I'm not gonna lie, like I'll use the internet while I'm out, or roll around and stuff like that. It's mainly because I'm just listening to music. That's why. But I won't really I'll see streams that I'll be on. I'll watch it. Or I'll just look at different streams that's talking about something, or different various YouTube. But I'm not spending my whole entire life trying to just be like, well, let me post about me and this, that, and the third. It's not really important. I really don't care. Honestly, the whole entire selfie challenges and all this other stuff, it's just kind of like, for what? I don't give a shit about that. You know what I mean? You see my face one time, you don't need to see it 30 to 60 to 100 to 500, this, that. You don't. And it's like, it's really, I just really want to touch into this real quick. It's a little suspect for me to see guys that put up these quote unquote thirst traps or try to do all these random poses with their face online. Like, bro, like, come on, man. Don't do that. Like, let that be a woman's shit. You understand what I'm saying? Stop doing that as a man.
True, yeah. And the thing is, in the long run, nobody really cares, because with all the problems in the world now, COVID and et cetera, people got their own problems. They don't have time to watch TikTok and watch you on Facebook or whatever. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I look at Facebook all the time, and I'll chat here and there with people I actually know in person. But I'm not gonna post every second of the day, from work or wherever I'm at, just to, this, that, and the other, and just to try to look cute or try to be I'm trying to be, trying to show off. You know what I mean? I got time for that. I got real problems.
Exactly.
I got responsibilities. I'm thinking about real things or other things. You know what I mean?
Right.
Posting online is the last thing I'm thinking about.
Yeah, and it's
this is the first time I've been on here in a long time. See, I haven't done a lot of broadcasts. Usually I was doing a show with my two of my buddies, but one of them I was messaging, he hasn't answered over a month. So I guess, he's got something going on. So, I got another buddy I can do a show with, but both of us, like, he's married and has kids, and I'm working, of course. So doing a show isn't a priority. But if we have the time and our schedules, are free, yeah, we'll go for it. You know what I mean?
Right. Exactly. And that's how it's crazy how social media has done that. I mean, even if you look now, let's just say I go outside, how many times you're going to go on a train, in my opinion, and I'm guilty of this. That's why I try to stop, and I'll try to, read more, which I got to get back on, read, or, this, that, and the third. But how many times you're going to go online, you're going to go outside, and you're going to be seeing people looking dead at their phone. You understand? You're going to see people just looking down at their phone, and they can look at their phone for damn it hours, and this, that, and the third. When do you take a break? That's like, especially like when I take a break, I'll leave my phone in the house, and I'll go ahead and bike ride, or, run, or, walk and stuff like that, because it's not needed. You know what I'm saying? I can't imagine someone who's addicted to social media just as much as that. They have to post like click, 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 my day, my day, my day. It's just like, God damn, fuck your day, bro. When are you going to sit up there and enjoy life and go out places and this, that, and third? Now, don't get me wrong. Like, because of the fact, man, I like traveling and flying around and stuff like that. Like, I don't mind posting a little bit of pictures of landscape, because that's just what I like. But at the end of the day, certain things I'll just be like, well, this was an experience for me without my phone. You know what I mean? And then you have to understand where you place your phone or your electronics as a man, because it's doing something to your gonads. That's something we don't talk about either. And I'm going to reach on that. I'm starting to realize it myself. So.
Okay. Now, I try to take a walk every evening. I'll be on my phone. I mean, I'll look at Facebook, but I won't be posting. I just be looking, and and sometimes I'll put it in my pocket and just keep walking, power walking. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But like I said, I don't post. Like I said, I don't post like that. But I'll look at it, and I'll chat. I'll see what's going on, see what kind of posts like. Because mostly I'm in wrestling groups, old school hip hop groups, and like I said, these are friends that I know and actually know in real life. So see, a lot of the people I'm friends with on Facebook are people I actually know in person. That's a good thing.
Right.
I mean, there's a lot of them I don't. They're like scattered like I said, and some of them are on YouTube as well. But most of the ones I talk to a lot of times are ones I've met in real life or I know in real life too. So see, that's the good part. So you're there on Facebook, yeah, but you can talk. You see them on the street too. See.
Yeah, and that's the thing that bothers me a little bit, because it's like the idea of socialization is pretty much like done. It's like every single time I have a conversation with someone who's way younger than me, the whole entire thing is, oh, I was playing Minecraft, or I was playing on TikTok, or this, that, and the third. And it's like, how long did you spend time on your phone, iPad, or whatever electronic? Oh, I spent this, da, 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 da. And it's like, well, did you read a book today? Did you go outside and play with friends? Like, I mean, like, what did you do? All you did was sit there and stay on your electronic the whole entire time. You didn't move. Like, I look, I mean, even streams, like God bless them, but like doing streams for 10 hours, I couldn't do it. Like, I need a cap. Like, the most I've ever done for a stream, I think, is about 5 hours. But
yeah, I've never done 5 hours. I think even the shows I was doing before, the other dude stopped responding to messages. I don't know. I mean, I don't know what happened. I mean, I have an idea, but I'm not going to divulge his information about what happened. I know what happened. It was something. It was a family thing. Anyway, the longest I've done a stream is almost 2 hours. A lot of times, I'm just going an hour and that'll be it. I've been on streams where years ago where I was like 3 and 4 hours. But I mean, I went on there the whole time. I would go on a little while, and then I would get off. But
right.
The ones who do like a full 8 hours, 10 hours, no, I see that's much. See, that's somebody who doesn't have a job.
And probably, that's like dead, like them doing it like daily, like 9-10 hours a stream. I'm just like, God damn, how y'all do this for like 9-10 hours, dude? Like, I need a break. I whip up a stream next day in the morning or this, that, and the third, and I got time, but I'm not trying to do no damn stream for 8-10 hours like every day though.
Yeah, see, and like I said, I work during the day. I work 8:30 to 5:30 p.m. Here's the thing: if I do a stream, maybe on the weekends. Other than that, I just film a video and post it.
Mm-hmm.
And even when I post a video, the videos aren't that long. I post long enough to get my point across, and then I keep it moving.
Right. I'll even play videos within my video just to talk or give some commentary on it. But you keep it where it's at. But that's why I feel like the socialization. I feel bad for the generation that's going up now. They don't know what it's like to really play outside and this, that, and the third. It's kind of just like taboo. And
right.
The thing about it is like what was I gonna say? Like, it's just really crazy to me because it's like everything they know is electronic. They don't know. Right, they don't know like how it was back in the day. Back in the day, I mean, this might be showing my age, but it is what it is. But Game Boy Advance, that was like something that came out or whatever. And I was just like, okay, cool. That was a game we played, but we still played other games, board games, and this, that, and third. When we had the sleepovers or when we went over to a friend's house for the day and this, that, and third. So it still was that element of like, okay, this is the new electronics, but at the same time, we're going to go ahead and play with each other because this is what we do as friends, children growing up and this, that, and the third. So it's just very ironic on how things change because it's just like once everything just got 3D and they're moving into 4G, 5G and all this other shit, you can only expect that virtual reality game is going to take over, and then it's just going to be like, oh yeah, well this is a new craze, and then no one's going to really want to hang out, and especially because how this pandemic changed everything, of course, people are less likely to socialize. So of course it's going to be easier for them to be on social media all day. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's true. You're right. Yeah, and the thing is, that's where it started. It started with video games, and like I said, I turned 50 next Sunday, and here's the thing: growing up, I grew up just like you. I had a best friend. We played on the street. I played with the other kids in the neighborhood. We played football, basketball, and it wasn't until the one time I stayed inside a lot more was when when the Atari came out. Remember, that was the first video game system that came out. The Atari. That's where it started for me. Atari 2600. I had Pac-Man, Miss Pac-Man. I played it, but I didn't play like all day. I'd play it like a little while, and I would get bored of it, and I would go out and play. But now, see, the Atari, the technology has advanced now. Now you got the PlayStation 5, the virtual, all this stuff. And I said I have a PlayStation 3. Thing is, it doesn't. I mean, it works, but it crashed one night. I lost all my game data, so and I'm not gonna try to get it all back either. That's a little too much work, and I got to spend money again on unlocking cars. So I'm not gonna do that. What I might do is I might get a PS4 just to get some apps. But what's good for is I use my PS3 to watch TV more than I do cable, because what it is, I have Netflix and Hulu on my PS3. Plus, I can download movies and programs, and the PS3 will play them. But like I said, also there's like a cartoon meme out there I've seen twice on Facebook. It's a little black white cartoon. It's like this little character, like little boy, trying to get people's attention, and everybody is just walking through lines, sitting down, all like zombies with their phones.
Yeah,
you probably seen it too. Yeah,
I've probably seen it.
Yeah.
And
that's true, because even before I got a job I used to work at a Pitney Bowes, and during the break time Pitney Bowes, some people would talk, but then mostly after they finish eating, everybody's on their phones, just looking at their phones. I mean,
that's the one too.
I had mine. I'm sorry. I say I look at Facebook and Twitter and whatever apps are, if the signal was working good. But other than that, I kept it in my pocket, and like I say though, I'll go out and hang out if there's a friend, like I said, it's safe. You know what I mean? If it's safe, there's one friend I got here locally I could probably hang out with, but we don't, because like I said, he's married, he works. Because actually, years before the pandemic, me and his buddy met 3 buddies at Hooters, because like I said, we would all watch the wrestling together, and then we started watching wrestling at this buddy's house because we ordered pizza. This is before the wrestling, the company took the wrestling to his network, and it became a network streaming service, and now it's on Peacock. So that was a blast. I had a blast doing that, because I would buy pizza and they would have pizzas there. We would just sit there and watch wrestling and talk and hang out. We don't do that no more. Like I said, I don't see him no more. But the one buddy I got, his name is Sean. He I talk to him, email once in a while, and he'll respond. But like I said, he's probably pretty busy. Like I said, we'll talk and then we'll lose touch. Because he's working, I'm working. I work for the bank. He works for an insurance company. So like I said, so we're all adults now. You know what I mean? Everybody's working. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's hard to catch up with people, when you work. But like I said, he's the one constant friend that I know I got his number and I can email it. And if I email him, he'll respond back. You know what I mean?
Right. Exactly. But it's just crazy how the world is going, and it's kind of like I reminisce, because I remember, like, besides, I think we all reminisce,
Yeah, especially if you grew up in the era that we grew up. Like I said, I was born in 71, so see, I know the era, what it was like before technology. But like I said, see, even now, I bet you, basically, this is what people are saying now. These phones, technology with these phones, this is also part of the government elite plot to manipulate and control you. It's a form of control. Like I said, see, the next step is to put a nano chip in your head or in your body or in your brain. You know what I mean?
Yeah, the whole
connect your brain, literally connect your brain with artificial intelligence. So,
well, they have, I think it's something like the Neuralink or something like that. I think in China, they did some crazy shit in China, yo. Like, they have something like where a teacher could read a child's mind and see how their behavior pattern is. And if they acting up or something, the teacher don't like it, they report it to their parents via app. And it's just like, what the fuck? Like, why would you? And this is the thing that Americans are so dumb on not understanding. Like, they're literally putting chip inside their dogs and shit, and they're like, well, it's in case it gets lost. I mean, that's animal testing. I hope you know that. Like, y'all gotta read between the lines. Like, that's the whole entire point why they did that. You know what I mean? So,
true, yep.
Y'all thinking this shit is sweet because let's just say your dog get lost and you can be able to look on your phone or this, that, and the third to find where your dog is. But, like, the ultimate goal is not that. The ultimate goal is you. So y'all sit up there thinking this is just all about just finding this animal testing. And it's just like, yeah, this is ridiculous. Like, the only thing I can say to that is I can only know for myself that I just, I'm having this just profound love for God. Like, I'm not letting anything get to me. I'm like, fate is fate. If it's meant for me to go, Because my whole entire thing is I have to be a rebel. I'm not gonna stand for something I don't believe in. So if I have to just go off the earth and that's what it takes for me to just get my salvation, then it is what it is. I'm not falling into this crap. I just think that, I mean, obviously it's been destined. You know what I mean? It's been premeditated. They already knew that they was gonna do this, but it's just kind of like, how do you go about it? It's like put people in fear mode and then just be like, well, well, if you do what we say, then you could be free, but my freedom doesn't rest in you. You know what I mean? Like it's just a lot of stuff that they're just doing, and it's just like I'm not falling for it. I mean, Tesla shit, a lot of stuff that they're doing behind, well, of course, behind closed doors, but just the fact of the matter, they're doing this, they're literally telling you this, and before that, and they're like, wouldn't it be cool? Because it's always trying to pitch it to you in a nice way. They're always like, wouldn't it be cool if you could do this, you could do that? And they're like, well, I never really thought about it, and blah, 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 and this, that, and the third. And then it's just like, oh, well, this is what we're going to come out with. That's secretly basically what they're saying. It's a lot of shit. Then wanted to say this as well, especially that Elon Musk sitting up there talking about that robot that's going to be rolling around with people. You know what I mean? Like, it's just like a human. You know what I'm saying? Just like it's the same thing. Gave the muscular physique as a man. Then it has the average height as a man, which is at 5'8". And then this is the stuff they're doing, bro. Like, it's fucking evil world. And it's just like, I wouldn't even want to have a seed line in this generation. No.
Yeah, that's true.
I don't want to have I mean, look, I told people, I said I would love to start a family and do whatever it is that I wanted to do, but this generation is just too crazy. And it's not really individuals, it's just that feeling you have deep inside. I can't do it. For my seed line to be surviving the next 18 years in this unpredictable world, and they're sitting up there doing all this stuff out here, not to mention that they're going to try to do all these different things to people who do not abide. No. I'd rather die first. You know what I mean? Like, that's just really how crazy this joint is getting. It's ridiculous. I would not want my son and daughter going through that. Now, if you would have asked me back in maybe 2010 or 2011 when I didn't really know nothing, then it would have been a different story. But, you start to pick up on things as time goes on, and you're just like, no, this is ridiculous. I'm going to save my seed.
Yeah, our freedom should be our own. Our freedom should be our own. Like I said, like I said, they're trying to take that away. And here's the thing: now you can really understand. Oh, can you hold on? I'll be back.
Yeah, go ahead, bro. Yeah. Tap in. Anybody else that wants to come on the panel, you're more than welcome to. Atlantic Flyway, you understand? But yeah, socialization is crazy, bro, and it's just like I wouldn't want that for my seed. Them being grown up, not knowing who they are purposely, and then they're gonna put out all these random curriculums in the school too, to make it more crazier for my sons and daughters. You know what I mean? So, yeah, go ahead, bro. Continue.
All right, now what I was saying was now after everything we've discussed and the books we're reading. Now you really understand what the movies like The Matrix really meant.
Which they're actually supposed to come out with a new.
Yeah, it is. I saw the trailer for it. Yeah, and it's called Matrix Resurrections. But I'm talking about the message in the first one, in the first three, well, the first one in general, which was the first one, which was basically one of probably the best one. The message in general, it was all this time, even though it was action and entertaining, we should have took it as a warning, because it's like everything now is coming. Everything that those movies projected is kind of in a way coming to pass.
Yeah, that's why I always say my philosophy is science fiction is not science fiction. And I usually say it's foreshadowing.
Yeah, science fiction is always based on some truth. I remember in the movie The Faculty, where the kid was telling his girl about what was going on in school about the teachers being taken over by aliens. He's saying, teachers write what you know. He's saying all science fiction is based on some truth. So see, right there, shows you right there, the truth part of it, which is probably a legend and really happened. That's where it's based on. So something like that happened years ago. So what's happening now is with the government with this COVID thing, and now the government and like it's like the control, the manipulation, the control is being amped up just little by little. The technology, phones, and entertainment, everything, et cetera, et cetera. What if in real life in the future there is a matrix, or this life was always a matrix, and even if we die, or in this case, if we transition, what if the moment we transition, we find ourselves like waking up in some gooey stuff, and something plugged into our heads and arms. See, so what if we all are plugged into something?
Yeah,
It makes you think. I mean, we might be,
it's really funny about that. Even if it's stuff I like to think about, because I also think about frequency, right? I have a real big problem with 5G. Unfortunately, I have a 5G phone. It is what it is. I try to stay away from it as much as I can. My thing on that is, I feel like the frequency that's in the air, whether you're talking Wi-Fi or whatever, it's affecting people's behaviors. It's affecting the moods. It's affecting how people move, and this, that, and the third. And then we're also not even talking about. We understand the manipulation of media, of course. The propaganda that goes through your everyday television, music, podcasts, or whatever it is, that, and the third, or seeing images and this, that, and the third. It's definitely something that's enrooting some false chip inside your mind. And I think a lot of people don't really. I mean, it's one of those type of things you don't notice because you're going on your day-to-days, but it's definitely something that I believe is something that's going on. And I would even put myself in a ring. I'm cognizant of that, like if I'm affected by something, especially if it's like propaganda, or like even if I listen to music, I'll get affected by gangster rap, you know what I mean, or death metal, or this, that, and the third. It's creating that whole entire chip in my brain. If I get addicted to it, that is something of an outside source taking over me. You understand? So yeah, I definitely do think there's a lot of different things out there that a lot of people don't pay attention to it because it's second nature. But when you really slow down and you think, it's like, okay, now I get it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. So it's like, so I could smell it coming. Like I said, even years ago when I started reading Black history books and then I went deeper into African history, I found a book search called The Deeper Spirit. It basically took you to links to all these ancient African books. That's where it started for me when I started reading more. And now, like I said, I've advanced now to this after 9/11, we're reading about this. And this, and even though it's written by, a white man. He's a wise white man. There's a select few white people who are very wise, and this author who writes his books and others, they're very wise. So they're telling you how what's going on and how it's affecting. Like I said, they may be called conspiracy theorists, but it's not a conspiracy. It's reality. It's just reality. Because some of them blood rituals I'm reading about now, that's some sick shit.
Oh yeah, I know. And
it's like the Bushes, Clintons, everybody's involved. Even Barack Obama. All of them. They were all chosen part of this elite. You know what I mean? All chosen.
Yeah. I know about that. And then they have like secret terms that they like to use that's speaking in code, which I'm not going to talk about here. But I mean, obviously,
yeah. No, it goes beyond that. We're talking about like torture and sexual.
No. Yeah. I know, but then you have sex magic. You have black magic. You understand?
Right. Yeah.
Those whole entire things out there. A lot of people, and that's why I think the thing about it is that it's like now they're letting the cat out the bag. You know what I mean? And the thing about it is that every day when you see it, it's like you can't escape it. So the over sexualization is putting that spell of sex magic on you. You understand? And like I mean, even going far into this, I think a lot of them practice, obviously, pansexuality, of course, right? And the idea about pansexuality is having sexual intercourse or being attracted to anything that is, right? But of course, if you learn from, from them, they have no problem having a sexual magic with anybody. They don't care. But at the same time, it's just really crazy to me because this is a video that I was gonna do. They have that dating app. I forgot which dating app it was, but it was a lady on a train that was taking out those ads because they was like, oh, we don't like it, it's evil, it's over sexualization. But it's one I already seen those ads, and those ads was talking about, oh, be free to be a pansexual, and it's like, yo, they are open gutter with this shit. You imagine what it's gonna be like 2 to 3 years from now, especially if you're talking sex magic they learned, under there. And I forgot to talk about this too. I'll talk about it in a second. How crazy it's gonna be with women and men. Like in a few years, I feel like it's gonna be acceptable to walk out damn near naked.
Yeah, I hope not. But yeah, you're probably right. And here's the thing: I've seen that one time, but it was under different circumstances. My best friend's mother, years later, after he moved out, I think she developed Alzheimer's or something, severe Alzheimer's. And one day, I had my the thing is, I had my this is when I just bought my camcorder a few months after I bought my camcorder, maybe of 6 months or a year, maybe after I bought my camcorder. So I caught a glimpse of it on my camcorder on one thing, but I don't think I have it anymore. She decided to walk out of the house, but it was during the summertime. She was walking out of the house. She was butt naked. I mean, she's fat and everything, but she didn't know she was out there with no clothes on. And a car drove by, and the mother, this was a woman, got her back in the house. You know what I mean? And the thing is, she was out there just naked. I'm like, damn, okay, that's something wrong here. I'm like, oh boy. I mean, I'm talking big and this is my best friend's mother, big floppy titties. Damn. I mean, I wasn't turned on nothing. I wasn't turned on or nothing, but I just saw like, oh my God.
Like, oh my God, what's going on, right? Like,
but it turns out I found out that she had Alzheimer's. See, I think that's what disease does. When you get Alzheimer's, you start doing things sometimes that you wouldn't normally do. That you didn't, like I said, if you're not dressed, and you go outside, walk around, you don't know about it. You know what I mean? It's like
Right.
you're not thinking because of the sickness, because of the disease.
Mm-hmm. And the thing about it as well, where I'm at, it's like, well, you're dealing with psychos living in the inner city, but they have no problem doing things as well as being half naked or naked outside, especially around, let's say NYU, where they're doing things like pole dancing outside in the streets at a public park. Okay, they're doing this outside. They have women, especially so-called black women, that's doing this as well. It's all nations that get involved in this fuckery, ironically. But you have them going outside twerking on street poles and street lamps and walking don't walk signs with bra and panties on. Okay, the line is crazy. You got these men out here who's wearing things like Speedos and shit, mad hairy and all this other stuff out there in the summertime, and they don't give a shit. You understand? I've seen, and this is on some real no homo. Like it was not my intention to look. It was just random as fuck. It was a so-called white man too. The so-called white man walking down this neighborhood called Lower East Side in Manhattan. Big club spot too, because they got a bunch of clubs and a bunch of bars out there. This guy walks down the street, butt naked, no clothes on, just his whole entire just ass out. I'm like, yo, no cops are stopping him. Nobody's doing anything. This is crazy. But my reason of saying that is, how crazy is it gonna be in the next couple of years with this sex magic? Because we already understand that they do it all the time and blah, blah, blah. But look around you. They're adultifying children. They're not, I don't know how it's going to be with bestiality. I don't know how that's going to be, right? Because that's something they also do. But How crazy is it gonna get? Is my point. You know what I mean? Then they have these things called ecosexuals. I believe they're witches that go ahead and have sex with nature, or sexualize nature. Something I don't understand, but that's something that they do. So what do you expect that's gonna happen in the next couple of years? You know what I mean? Like a lot of people don't want to pay attention. Everybody's just thinking, well, let's be expressing myself. That's what they want you to do.
Yeah, I mean, I'm all
Perverted,
for
you know.
I'm all for expressing yourself, but there has to be, some boundaries, within context and within limits. There has to be some boundaries.
Mm-hmm.
So, see now, like I said, the what we discussed before, plus the LGBT uh, element of it, this is where future generations of men or of men and women can get ruined. I'm pretty sure you've seen I see them on Facebook and in the pictures I've taken and posted. You got rappers rappers dressing up in long dresses and feminine and everything like that. And I'm like, okay, this is taking a turn for the worst.
It already is, bro. It's already the worst, bro. Like you come to New York, you got guys got full on skirts, got full on like full on skirts, dresses, all that, this, that, and the third. They walk out the streets every day. I'm used to it now. That's how crazy this is. Like they have no problem walking outside looking like how a woman would dress. You understand? They have no problem with this shit. They walk outside and they be like, yeah, this, that, and the third. It's just like, but you a man though. You know what I mean? Like they're blurring the lines on this, and this is why it starts off from the dressing and then it comes into the attitude. Because once it comes into the attitude, it's now like, well, I'm just expressing myself. I'm not going with the framework of masculinity. Now there's no uniqueness between men and women. So now that there's no uniqueness between men and women, now it creates this whole big bowl of confusion. Where now, if I'm the one that sits on my square and you sit on your square, Malik X, we're looked at as public enemy number one.
Yeah, true that. Yeah, true that. Yeah.
That's why it's getting crazy out here, and that's why we have to retain being on that square. I mean, maybe it might not get somewhere, maybe it will, but we know for sure that this whole entire thing that they're doing out here is gonna take a turn for the worse. And now you got these grown ass men sitting up there painting their fucking fingernails. How the fuck y'all sitting up there thinking this is okay?
Yeah, and wearing makeup too. So not only we're dressing, but wearing makeup too.
You wearing makeup, yo. You got wearing makeup, growing your hair long so that it goes down your backside, and this is totally appropriate.
Yeah, it's supposed to be cool. I said, I don't think so.
Nah, man, that's what I mean. Like it's getting nuts out here. That's why they want to remove, and then they say these bullshit terms like toxic masculinity and this, that, and the third. What?
It's not about masculinity. It's about accepting what God made you and also knowledge of self. I think if these brothers who wearing dresses had knowledge of self, like you and I are trying to do, I'm trying to study, I think we'd be better off. But they're too far. They're too far drawn into the trap of the fame and money already. So
Well, I mean that, and just the pushing a narrative or pushing the propaganda or agenda, because of course we get into the conversations of dudes like Lil Nas X, of course, the Montero thing, which I believe Montero is just the alter ego. Um, that's a program. I can get
yeah,
in. I can get into it, or I mean, I can't really dig deep because I need more time to examine. But just right off the bat, when he mentioned Montero, I thought to myself, I was like, that sounds like an alter ego. A lot of
yeah,
these like artists usually have these alter egos.
yeah. See, but alter egos can be a problem because alter egos can actually become who you are, which is a bad thing. So, see, when you have an alter ego, that's a bad thing. If it was me, I would have an alter ego. I'd be who I am right now.
Yeah,
That's what we need. See, like,
it's a portal.
yeah, I think the only brothers we know that they're still free are basically old school rappers. At least most of them anyway. But some of them have gone into business, selling wine or alcohol, to make money, keep making money.
Mm.
So even though they were one time the hip hop or the pro black and trying to be real, they've kind of fallen into the trap too. Like Queen Latifah to me has all sold out and crossed over. I remember one of her albums where she uses her actual slave name, Dana Owens, that was trying to sing, and she's been doing commercials for these makeup products, that you usually see white models doing. So I'm like, okay, they've got Queen Latifah. I mean, I still listen to her old school hip hop records, when at the time, when she was black, but people saying, oh no, she's a businesswoman. She just wants to make money. I said, businesswoman, my ass. No, she's
compromised.
She's compromised. She's been compromised. I think a lot of them have become compromised. I mean, they haven't crossed over to that other level like the guys dress up in dresses yet, like that. But they've been compromised.
Oh, yeah.
I think the only one who hasn't been compromised is KRS-One.
Yeah, but with KRS-One, he's not
teacher, philosopher.
Yeah. I rocks with KRS-One. I do. But the thing about it is, I'm wondering though, like with him, is it like he's basically kicked out the hip hop industry? Do they not want him? Like, what's the whole thing with that? Because it's not a lot of times that I hear about KRS-One, and I'll just see him on YouTube. He'll make these very grandiose, dope speeches and talking about history and talking about frequency and connections, kinetic, and all these different things. And I'm like, yo, we need like the OGs like him out here still. And the last one that I really respected was Rakim as well. Really respected Rakim.
Oh yeah, Airbnb Rakim, yeah. Well, see, KRS-One is in his 50s now, and I think he's you're not gonna hear about him too much, like I said, because he's really real. That's why they try to keep him off the public airwaves as much as possible. So yeah. But it is what it is, like I said. But he's still making records. I got all his stuff. He's still making records.
Oh, like new records in 2021.
Yeah, I mean, I've downloaded everything he's made, but it's out there. You can probably buy it offline or buy it off Amazon. But it's out there.
Nice.
I think one of his last albums was like 2000 something.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I think you're absolutely on the money with that because OGs always know it. I can't. And you were talking about the hip hop industry today. I can't get with it. There's a couple of jewels that's like nice or whatever, but a lot of these dudes is trash. They're not talking anything. I was probably gonna make a powwow on that anyway, but there's nothing that they're talking about. And it's one thing that I don't like is that even if you're talking on the R&B side, they take samples from the fucking 90s and try to remix it and act as if they're doing us a favor. Like, I don't want to hear the same samples. When are y'all coming out with ballads? When are y'all coming up with original songs and bangers? Y'all can. It's not like you can. So
that's true. Yep, that's true.
Like it's aggravating because when I was listening, I was in the car like listening to the radio like yesterday, and usually I don't play today's music. I don't. Like I'll play underground artists usually or whatever. Oh shit. Hold on a second.
All right.
Yeah, my fault. So I was listening to the radio and I was like, yo, why does this sound like the Juvenile sample? Taking over for the 99 and 2000s, and then it was another song. I think Normani, she had this song that was basically a sample of Aaliyah, and I was just listening. I'm like, all this shit sounds fucking corny to me. Like, where is these original songs at? You know what I mean? And I know it was pretty much R&B, but it's the same thing in fucking rap. Obviously it's the trap, this, that, and the third, and blah, 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 blah. But it's just like, yo, like you're not saying anything. I need something there. You know what I mean? I understand you got your select handful of rappers, J. Cole, Kendrick, certain other brothers out there that, that rap or whatever. But at the end of the day, you don't have a lot of that. You know what I mean? A lot of it is just fucking trash. It's all about clout chasing nowadays. And you have a lot of these dudes that, start off from, they know, there's certain, I understand that, there's certain people that start off from YouTube or start off being comedian, and all this other stuff. But all of a sudden now that they're an artist, like where the fuck do you come from? And then it's not even like you're trying to be an artist that make change. You're just an artist that's doing it for clout. Like sit your ass down, bro.
That's true. Yeah.
You know. So yeah, and I don't like that, but that's
Yeah.
just me.
I get you. And me, like I said, I haven't. I'm gonna tell you this. I got an iPod that I recently bought early last year with some of my tax return / stimulus money. 256 gigs. Nothing but old school. We're talking Boogie Down Productions, KRS One, Brand Nubian, Tribe Called Quest.
That's right.
This is hip hop. This is hip hop and R&B, and even jazz. Got Miles Davis on there, John Coltrane, Thelonious Monk, Run DMC, SOS Band, Parliament, Bob Hayes, George Clinton, etc., etc., etc.
That's good. Because you know the ironic thing about that music is that you feel it. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
that's that a lot of I think that's a conversation I like to have because you know I say an audiophile, that's a real thing. Someone who loves sound loves music. That's me. And the thing about it is with music, you gotta feel it. You know what I mean? I mean, look, I know that with today's genre, if you're talking trap beats or, you know, drill, certain people make it to a point where you can actually feel it. But, you know, that's something that I like to touch on as well because the music back in the day, you felt that shit. You feel it. Even if you look at a video on YouTube, you feel the essence of that song. You know, like, you know, there's something about it that's just like it touches, it hits. You know what I mean? And today I just can't really feel it as much.
No, you can't feel it. I mean, I see the artists, and like I said, the way they dress and what they do. And I've heard maybe a few songs every here and now and then, but what I hear is all I hear is one line chants. There's no lyrics. They have no lyrics hardly. The last one I think they had lyrics a little bit. I downloaded this stuff too. I downloaded 2 of his albums. I put them on my iPod. Ludacris, he wasn't bad. And then, like I said, he did a song with one of my all-time West Coast favorites, DJ Quick, which I like. You know the one with you know well it was on the Red Light District album. You know.
I gotta remember what song it was. Ludacris is like early 2000s, mid 2000s.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, but it's still, I think it's in a lot of ways like that song, you know, stand up.
Yeah.
When I move, you move, you know. But the
just
thing
like
is,
that, yeah.
He could spit lyrics and you could tell what he was saying. That's the good part about him. Now, one artist I didn't like personally because he never made anything I liked was Jay-Z. I didn't care for him too much.
Okay.
He never made anything I liked.
Jay-Z is more the hype around Jay-Z is that he's just commercial. He's just marketed very commercial.
Also,
you know what I mean?
One conspiracy theory I heard, this is what I heard from some brothers at Walmart. He had something to do with the death of Biggie Smalls because, you know, he wanted Biggie Smalls to spotlight. Because, like I said, when Biggie Smalls well, the thing is, it wasn't just him. Actually, Puffy did a song actually admitting that he had Biggie killed because Biggie, he blew up and much money was making him, and then like Tupac was going to leave Death Row, Biggie was going to leave Bad Boy, and Puffy didn't want that. So see, that like I say the same thing about this, just like the government secret society, issue. I guess you got the same thing. It goes in hip hop. See, that's sick. See, you know what I mean? They're supposed to be best friends, but he gonna have his own best friend killed.
Yeah,
and you notice Bad Boy almost doesn't exist. I mean, he's a millionaire, but Lil' Kim went to jail for a year. I mean, she's out, but Lil' Kim basically now looks like shit with all the plastic surgery she did because she used to be a nice black woman. You notice how her skin went from brown to Michael Jackson light.
She looked
to high
Asian.
Yellow.
She looked like an Asian woman.
No, she's like Asian Caucasian. No, and also you don't hear nothing about Mace, Little Cease, and none of them. Junior Mafia, they're all gone. I think they're around, but they're broke. Puffy's on one.
Lil Cease in Brooklyn right now.
I bet, yeah.
Yeah, Lil Cease is in Brooklyn right now.
So I guess so much for Bad Boy for Life. No, it's not Bad Boy for Life. It's Bad Boy for money in my pocket by myself
of course.
And fuck everybody else.
Well, that's the thing. Gene Deal was always complaining about how P. Diddy was a liar, a fraud, and this, that, and the third. And the thing about that as well, the thing about it is how I felt once I started to gain the knowledge. Notorious B.I.G. was nothing more but a cash cow for P. Diddy to gain his popularity and this, that, and third. Because really think about it. What do you really know P. Diddy for back in the day? Notorious B.I.G. And then, of course, how they escaped over that 1991 murder in City College when they were sitting up there having that concert and people died because all of the fuck shit that happened in there because the fire escapes and this, that, and third, people couldn't get out the damn concert. But they was able to get away scot-free and people died. Yeah, it's a lot of undercover shit. And the thing about it is with P. Diddy, he doesn't really break the artists. A lot of these artists out here wind up going to prison for some odd reason. Loon, I'm not sure if Shine was with P. Diddy, but I mean pretty much sure that he started to become some politician in Belize. He went to jail. There's a lot of people that was under the P. Diddy roster that didn't get no money, get no royalties, got cheated out of their deal. And, you know, Puffy just still shining and doing all this other stuff and
Puffy got Puffy got all the money. I mean, he live in lavish right now. He's basically, I think he's a millionaire.
Yeah.
Little Kim, none of them, they ain't got shit.
Well,
I mean, talking about bad boy for life. I mean, come on now.
Lil Kim gotta have a little bit of money or something like that to be getting BBLs and getting all this surgery out here. She gotta have something. Maybe she's getting royalties off her album or some shit.
Or maybe she sued him. Maybe that's how she's probably got something. Yeah, a little something. Yeah, but not much though. Like I said, she the only one other than P. Diddy. But Lil Cease and all them ain't got nothing.
Of course, but that goes without saying. A lot of dudes that break into the industry. They break into the industry without really reading the contract. And of course, then it's quote unquote selling your soul. I mean, like, it's a whole entire rabbit hole. And every single time they don't pay attention to the money. And I mean, now they're changing it because everybody understands it's digital. So you can't really sell a CD like you did in 2009 and 2021 because nobody's really buying CDs like that. So you're having to deal with the whole entire thing of how much streams are you getting? How much shows? How much tickets are you selling at those shows? Which more than likely, they're not. You have to depend on shows because even album sales, you're making cents. You're not making dollars off that shit. You gotta sell a certain amount of copies of albums in order to make that sell back. You understand? So that's why you see a lot of these artists out here venture off into different ventures in order to make that loop back for the actual contract that they made. And a lot of dudes just don't make it. That's why you'll still have those one-hit wonders. Or you'll have this. They'll get signed into those deals and get fucked over when they get signed into those deals. You know? So, you know, a lot of people don't pay attention. Unfortunately, maybe Junior Mafia, of course, maybe that was one of them. Because the thing about it is, Biggie was Junior Mafia. Without Biggie, there would be no Junior Mafia. Shit, if we're really saying it, Bad Boy wouldn't be shit without Notorious B.I.G. We know this. So, I mean, at the end of the day, like, you and I both have an understanding on that. You know what I mean? The record labels and this, that, and the third. I mean, yeah, today you could do the independent route. And, you know, I would pay attention to that because it's something I would look into because I remember reading music business books. You know, all these lawyers would tell you it's not a game when you get into this industry. A lot of dudes get bought and sold for. You're a commodity, you know? So, you know, P. Diddy, in my opinion, has always been fraud. You know what I mean? He's always lied. He always done this, that, and third. But hey, it got him rich. He's able to live lavish. So, you know, stuff like that. But, damn, it's 10:30. I gotta make a phone call to a friend.
Actually, I gotta be up at 6, so I'm gonna go ahead and crash and go to sleep. But
thank you for coming, bro.
Oh yeah, it was good talking with you. Like I said, we should do this again.
Oh yeah. I try to run my powwows. It's been fucked up because of scheduling. I also work, so I usually try to run it Thursdays or Fridays.
Okay.
For the exception, I might do it Sundays. But yeah.
But also, maybe I can have you on my channel on the weekends. You know,
yeah. Just send the word, bro. I'll definitely come through. But thanks for coming.
Okay, yeah. Well, we can't direct message on YouTube no more. Are you on Facebook?
No.
Okay.
And if I was, it'd probably be my real name. I just used it. So.
Are you on Twitter or anything like that?
Not on Twitter. You can email me.
Okay,
Go to
actually,
my about section. Oh, a matter of fact, what am I doing? I can go to the damn private chat. Okay,
yeah,
I'm
just
putting it in a private chat right
type it in the
now.
private chat. Yeah, don't put it out on here. There are too many white devils out here to be hunting. So so okay.
Yeah, that's my email right there in the private chat.
All right, I'm gonna send you a test email right now, and I can put your email in my phone, so I can
Yeah,
email you from the phone too. So I'm gonna send you a
yeah.
test email just just to show you that it's me. That way you'll have mine too.
All right, yeah, I got you, bro. Thanks for coming up again.
Oh yeah, no problem.
All right.
All right, peace and blessings, my brother. Have a blessed night. I'll talk to you soon.
All right, man. Stay easy. All right.
You too.
Chill. Peace.
Peace.
And there you have it, folks. Another successful Brownstone powwow. The Atlantic Flyway. Well, I'll try to see the next time I'll stream. I don't even know when I'm streaming, but you know how I get. Regardless of the fact of the matter, I know it's mad people that's live right now, but I had to make a live. I just didn't feel right. I was gonna push it to Sunday, but then I was just like, I'll just do it just to do it. So whenever the next Brownstone powwow that is, and I'll have my episodes or this, that, and the third. You know how it is. But thank you for tuning in, and you know how I do every time before I close out. I play my music, and then we get started on that ish. So thank you for listening. I'm gonna play my music, and we're gonna get out of here. So hold on.